My name is Rhapsody, and welcome to this, just a little bit of an explanation for an upcoming series that I'm going to be doing with Orbital. We're going to be doing a cooperative and combative series in Gremlins Inc. This is the single-player version of Gremlins, and I just want to quickly go through the tutorial so that people are able to follow the kinds of things that we're going to be doing in the game. So it's literally just these 3 lessons that I want to go through. It shouldn't take more than 10 minutes to explain the game in its entirety. Of course, it's really difficult to do this while we're trying to record a board game night. Well, it's less a board game night and more a mini-series just between Orbital and I. So it's really important, I feel, that I actually do get ahead of it and try and explain some of the intricacies of the game so that people aren't just completely lost looking at the screen going, this is a convoluted mess, what the hell is going on? Hello, boss. Welcome to Clockwork Town and all that. To make it easier for all of us, the curriculum is broken down into several parts. In each of them, I will explain about a different part of the game. The first lesson, this one, in case you already forgot, differs from the rest in that you don't need to do anything unless you count auto-clicking the OK button as doing something. Okay, let's get started. Each player is represented by an avatar and a token. So here's the avatar over the side, and here's the tokens on the map. The avatar who is currently taking a turn will have gear spinning on their avatar, so that is the gear spinning over here, and their token jumping on the playing field, so you can see it's jumping over here. The avatar of all players is sorted in the turn order in each round, top to bottom. Your avatar is always at the top. Next to the player avatar, you'll find the resource indicators. Money is the resource at the very top that you use to pay for playing different cards, to give bribes, and to feel better on a bad day. Next, you'll see the money indicator of the player with the most money directly next to it. So you can see there's their money, and then if they have the most money, that'll be lit up. If they have the least money, that will be delit. You'll see the medal of the richest player, and the money indicator next to the player with the least money, you'll see the medal of the poorest player. Score is the resource that you'll need in order to win the game. So score is the gear in the center part here. At the end of every session, the player with the most score will win the game. Typically, we just play until the score limit is met. Or the round ends after the score limit is met. The player who currently has the most score points will have a green highlight on their score indicator, so you can see the green highlight on the inside there. We'll talk about the other resources during the game, during other lessons, rather. Not that I doubt you have the capability to remember more information than what I've given you so far, it's just I'm too lazy to do it right now. Congratulations, boss, you've successfully beaten one of the most difficult lessons. Most other players fall asleep after the second or third message, but you stayed strong. Savvy? One more lesson? Well, 2 more lessons, but let's take it step by step. Hello, boss. Today is a day of great feats. We'll learn how to fly, that is, how to walk. Moving around Clockwork Town is not a simple task. Sometimes it may even be dangerous, though if you follow my instructions closely, nothing bad will happen to you. At least for the first couple turns. So let's focus on our attention to the fact that most of the movement around Clockwork Town happens in one way. So you can see all of the arrows here point unidirectional. There's bidirectional arrows here in the center. We won't be dealing with those for a second here. See those arrows? You always have to follow their direction when you move. Now, to actually move, you'll have to use one of your cards. Don't worry, as soon as you use one, you'll instantly get another. You always have a hand of 6. See the symbols in the top corner, the top left corner of every card? They show how many spots you can move with each card. So I'll move 2 with this, 5 with this, 2, 3, 3, 3. You see. Let's try to move then, shall we? To do that, click on the card, a voodoo doll. Other cards will fade, and spots you can reach with this card will light up on the playing field. So I've clicked a voodoo doll. Yeah. And it's showing the only space I can move to, 2 ahead of me, because I can't move backwards. So that will move me to the income spot. Excellent, boss, I knew you could do it, though it's still too early to celebrate. First of all, let's figure out exactly what's happened here. You arrived at the income spot, and of course you got income there. We use the symbol for income, which is a plus inside a circle. The value of income for each player is indicated next to their avatar, over here. And then there's the value of their bribe. I imagine we'll be explaining that in a moment. If you hover your mouse over any spot or location, you'll see a tooltip of a hint of what happens there. Most likely you won't understand of any of them right now, but that's what I'm here for, to make everything clear. So if I land on a income space, I get double the income I typically would get. At the beginning of your turn, all of the spots you can move to are highlighted. If you hover over any card in your hand, it will show you the spots that will move you to. Each card has a value of how many spots you can move through using this card for movement. We call this value move points. The indicator of the move points is located in the upper left corner of each card, so it's worth noting you move to the maximum of it. You don't move up to 5 spaces, you move 5 spaces. Let's try this again. Make sure you got the lesson. Use jackpot to move to the police spot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I'm cutting through the center. See, boss? That was so easy. You probably noticed on your way you lost some money. That's because you passed a bribe spot. That's why these are omnidirectional, because they're negative spots in the center. So you have the ability to pass through these if you value your time more than you value your money or risk-taking due to misfortunes. There's 3 types of spots in the playing field that work even when you pass by them. They all have a special symbol in their bottom right corner. So a bribe spot will make you pay your bribe. Usually we use the symbol for the bribe negative inside a circle. The value of the bribe for each player is indicated next to their avatar. And now let's sort things out on the police spot. So where you carefully stopped on. Carelessly stopped on, rather. Usually policemen love to inquire about your business, which brings with it the chance of you getting arrested. But it is perfectly possible to avoid the risk of arrest by paying a bribe to our dear servants of law and order. I would suggest doing exactly this, since I don't want to teach you about all the intricacies of life in jail right now. The choice is yours, however. Do as you please. So I'll pay the bribe. Any problems with the law, boss? No? Let us continue. So if I said no, I wouldn't have to pay the bribe, but if I roll a 1, and on a d6 roll immediately after, I'll get teleported straight to jail. Jail makes some things difficult and some things easier, but on aggregate, it makes life more difficult. I suggest stopping on the income spot. It's particularly relevant since you'll pass another bribe spot before it, so you need to replenish your budget. So I'm going to move 2. In order to pass the bribe, I lose 20 as a result of my bribe value, and then I sit on an income space, so I get double my income, so I get 60. So overall, I had positive 40 that turn. Now that the bribe is paid, the income is received, everything goes as planned. Now it's time to visit the bank where you can raise your income. Once you do that, you will get more money on every income spot. That's a nice thing, all in all. So I'm just gonna... Wait a second. There's 2 spots left to reach the bank, but you don't have any points. Cards with 2 move points left. That doesn't necessarily mean you can't get there, though. Bank is a special kind of spot called a location. You can see these locations are designated by houses. There's 11 locations on the playing field. Each of them is unique. They all look like little houses, and you can stop on each of them, even if you move with a card that has more move points than is needed. So, in general, you can move with the bank to the bank with any card in your hand, but there's something else I want to show you. See the new card you got in place of Runner Bomb? Magic trinket over here. The one that has an old shoe, some people called an amulet. It allows you to move 3 spots forward, so you can see the 3 here. However, there's a plus-minus symbol directly next to it. If I hover over that, it will tell me what special effect moving with this card has. So it'll allow you to move 3 spots forward. It also has a strange symbol. This means that the card has a special rule that kicks in once this card is used to move around. I hover over it and I see that it gives me plus 20 gold when I use this card to move. So it gives you 20 gold when you move. Let's seize this opportunity to get to the bank. You already know how to do that. Click on a card called Magic Trinket, click on the bank, and... Or you can go the other way around first. You click on the bank, and then you can click on the trinket. Either way. Welcome to the bank, boss. Invest some money and let's move on, or don't invest, it's your choice. So each of these locations has some interactability in it. The bank specifically has, I can give up 50 of my current gold in order to increase my income by 10. So in a long game, or really early in a game, this is a really good investment. So I'm just going to make the investment at this point. It's not going to matter because we're not continuing this one, but still. I've great news, boss. You're almost done learning how to move. There's one small left thing to mention. See this guard? It has a question mark instead. It's called the Poseur, and it has a question mark instead of move points. Using cards like this, special move rules apply. Hover over the special symbol to find out what they are exactly. If I use this card to move, I roll the dice, and I roll accordingly. Move accordingly, rather. So, let's make everyone eat dust and move with the Poseur. Click on the card, and just remember that once you choose it, you won't be able to change your decision later, no matter how the dice will roll, but I believe in you. So I'm gonna roll. I rolled a 2. Cool. You've done it, boss. Now you can move around Clockwork Town with no help from me whatsoever. Of course, strolls like this can end up rather badly, since I haven't taught you a thing about proper business. But this is a topic for another day and another lesson. Till next time. Alright, we're almost at 10 minutes. You've almost got all of the information that is worth having. Now I just need to have the game explain, and I'll explain in the background, I guess, exactly what happens with cards when you're not using them for movement. What are cards really for? My salutations, boss. Ready for another lesson? Well, even if you're not, you'll have to learn, I'm afraid. I didn't teach you how to exit this game yet, right? Today, we'll learn how to play cards. The main rule is never confuse playing a card with using a card to move. Moving around is easy, you can do it with any card in your hand, but to play a card, you must fulfill certain conditions. I know it's not easy, but such are the rules. Condition number 1. A card can be played only, and I repeat, only when you stop on the corresponding spot. Each card has a certain spot indicated in the lower left corner. So this is a bribe spot. This is the casino. This is the gem store, if you ask Orbital. But it's the treasure area. This is the junkyard. Over here we have the office. And then this is for the marketplace. Right? So you can have one of pretty much anything on this map. You can have as a symbol down there. Each card has a certain spot. Yes, you can hover over any card. You will see a small yellow indicator showing up on the spots where you can use such a card. At this point, you may be asking yourself, why play cards at all? That's a good question. The answer is simple. Only by playing cards can you defeat your opponents. First of all, by playing cards, you get valuable resources. The lower part of the card, right above its name, will show you the resources that you get. So I get 250 gold by playing this, 300 gold by playing this. I get 1 malice plus 200 gold plus 1 score, 1 gear, for playing this. We'll explain what malice is, I have to imagine, during this. Otherwise, I'll explain it at the very end. Let's move from theory to playing something. You have a wonderful card in your hand. It's called Jackpot, and it'll bring you a ton of money. You can play at the casino, which is just around the corner. We should now decide on how we're going to get there. You're 5 spots away from the casino, and you want to get there during this turn. You have 2 cards that can make it. The Jackpot and Hidden Treasure. Oh, and one very important thing. If you use a card to move, you cannot play it. So you use a card to move or to play as a card. They're resources. Consider this might as well just say move 5 until I get to the point that I land on something, at which point it reads the Jackpot. So in order to get there, I'm going to use Hidden Treasure to move. Whereas I would usually want to use my 5 to move 5 spaces. The 5 is the one that I actually want to keep. So now, I've landed on the casino, I can play the Jackpot. I play it for its effect, I get 250 gold. Do you feel all that money weighing down your pockets? Enjoy it while you can. Usually money goes easier than it comes, but I'm off topic. According to the rules of the game, after playing a card, you can use the general mechanics of the spot that you've moved to. Now you're in the casino, you can gamble a little, or not, the choice is yours. This is another one of the situations like in the bank. It was invest in order to increase your income. Here, it's gamble. It's exactly as negative as it is positive. I like to avoid this unless I think that I can afford it. Okay. Now, let's see what cards you got in place of the ones you used, and also try and figure out the second condition of playing cards. Some cards don't require you to pay resources in order to play them. Sorry, some cards require you to pay resources in order to play them. If you don't have enough resources, you won't be able to play the card at all. Sorry. The price of each card is shown in the upper right-hand corner, so you can see the resource that is required here. So 300 gold to play this, 600 gold to play this, and there's a strike through indicating I don't have 600 gold, I can't play that. You currently have an artifact, which costs 300, which is quite affordable, and a secret project, which costs 600, which is obviously a little too much to handle right now. You can see that the cost of a secret project is crossed out because you wouldn't have the money to play it right now. Good, he explained exactly what I did. Okay, so here's the plan. We're going to move to the plant and play an artifact there. The road is long, but the artifact will give you a whooping 5 serious victory points, which is a claim towards victory. As it is, every session has the winner with the most points. Score, gears, whatever you want to call them. Interchangeably, we'll refer to those as those. There is no way to get to the plant in just one turn, so let's plan our journey and try not to lose anything that you earned through your hard work along the way. First, let's look at the card Right Connections. So this gear here will detail an effect that will occur when I play this card. It can be played on any bribe spot, which is convenient since there's a lot of those near this playing field. Also, this card has neither a price nor resources shown, only a gear symbol at the top of it. That means it has special rules. Hover over it to see what those rules are. So on a bribe space, I would play this, and instead of paying my bribe, I will get my income. As you can see, the right connections will get you some rather useful income and save you from paying the bribe, which is good, don't you think? Let's go to a bribe spot and play it. But remember, we need to save the card and artifact up here. So, we'll move 3 over. Then we play the right connections, because we can play it on that space specifically. And instead of taking our negative, we take our positive. Great. Now it's time to look around and take stock. It's not far to the planet right now, but if you go through the center of the field, you will bring a misfortune. There's a space with a skull on it called the misfortune. Even if you pass through it, something bad will happen to you. In the future, I will tell you in more detail about misfortunes and how to deal with them, but for now, let's walk around it. So I always find it useful to stand on an income spot for double money. So in order to get there, 1, 2, 3, 4, I need something with 4 move points. I have something with 4 move points. I'm going to use that. So the time has come to run to the plant and play an artifact there. You're 6 spots away from the plant, and if we move through the central bribe spot, then it's even less. You seem to have just the right card, Perpetuum Mobile, which is currently way too expensive for you to play, but offers excellent movement points, all 6 of them, so we'll easily avoid the bribe spot by walking around. However, there's one minor detail. The card has special move rules, you can see by the plus and negative directly next to it. The money over here. I'm using the cursor to indicate. Hover over the special move rule to find what it is. I'll lose 20 gold if I use this card to move. And so the time has come. Yep, no. Let's continue. Yes, you'll have to pay 20 gold to move with it. What is it with the whole world getting more expensive day by day? But you'll still have enough money to play the artifact at the plant rather, so let's stick to the original plan. Beautiful. And now I can play it. Oh yes, I completely forgot. You can stop at the plant to do some honest work there in order to gain 50 credits or gold or whatever. Usually it's not as profitable as it may seem since you have to skip a whole turn to do that. But if you ever find yourself 50 short of being able to play an amazing card, then it's a very viable reason to do it. It's also worth noting you lose a malice as well as you get that 50. So malice is something that accrues over time. I don't know if the game is about to explain it, so I'm going to explain it a little. Malice is something that will accrue over time as you do more malicious actions. A lot of effects in this game will affect the most malicious player. So typically you want to keep your malice low, especially if you try to go for the other one of the unexplained as of yet resources, which is votes. Eventually, they will trigger an election, and a governor will be elected. The person with the most votes and least malice has the greatest chance. Or rather, there's a direct ability for that person to become the governor. It's a little shady to me, even, at this point, how exactly malice affects that. I know it affects it if you have the least malice in the game, you get 3 extra votes towards becoming governor. And the governor just ignores bribes. That's pretty much it. So they can move a lot more freely. Like to do some work? No, thank you. That's definitely it. Thanks for your attention. This is over. Now, this is a practice session, but we're almost at 20 minutes. So, I implore you, these are the basic rules. More specific rules than that are going to be easily picked up through the series that Orbital and I do. Hopefully you'll enjoy yourself with it. I imagine I'm going to link it in the description down below. And hopefully we'll see you then.